Good morning, everyone. How's it going? We got a few different things to talk about here today. We're going to talk about those three Rhino Republican senators that voted to confirm Katanji Brown. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Uh, Not that it really matters, right? Republicans, Democrats, they're all corrupt. Then we're going to talk about how good old Nancy Pelosi. She was supposed to go to Taiwan, and then she allegedly come down with the old Rona. But kind of suspicious how she came down with it the day after some Chinese Communist Party official came out and made a threat. Then we're going to talk about the situation around the world with the food shortages. Then we're going to talk about good old Greedy Gretchen Whitmer. That trial about those guys that were falsely accused because turns out they were innocent. Well, I guess two got hung and two were found innocent. And then over here in good old Los Angeles, we got the idiota Mayor Garcetti. Don't look like he's going to get his big dream of being appointed ambassador because he ain't going to get confirmed because he looks the other way when one of his employees is out playing grab ass. Playing grab ass on a regular basis, it sounds like. So let's get on into this. We got uh first things first here. We got the three senators of the Rhino variety, Republican in name only, were that voted to confirm Katanji Brown Jackson. No surprise to anyone that it was these three, I guess you call them the usual suspects. These guys ought to go fucking change the R behind their name to D because on so many important things, they always vote with the Democrats. You got that jackass Mitt Romney. And you got the that broad Susan Collins, and then that other broad Lisa Murkowski. Now, me, I personally think that Republicans, Democrats, some people call it the Uniparty. It's just the establishment. Most of these people are corrupt. I think there are some differences, but how big are those differences? I don't know. You know, some people say it's the left wing and right wing of the same bird, and that bird apparently to me is corruption. Most of these politicians, based on their actions, are in it to win it, right? And what's winning it? Stuff in their pocketbook and their bank accounts with as much money as possible. I think they ought to pass a law where if you're in Congress, you have to divest yourself of all stock holdings for the duration of your time there. Lord knows these people need to have some time term limits. But what's the likelihood of that happening? These motherfuckers vote themselves a raise on the regular, and they're never going to vote themselves term limits. I mean, I think that's a bit of a flaw in the system that these people vote their own salary and the term limits. So, no bueno in that area. Next, we got the Speaker of the House, who, if you listen to her speak and listen to some of the shit she says, she gotta have to check into the same facility that Potato Head Joe Biden is, because she's says some weird shit and always with her dentures. But I think she's experiencing cognitive decline. Hopefully, the elections aren't going to be experience all the fuckery they did back in 2020, because based on all the polls and based on the approval ratings of the Democrats versus the Republicans right now, you would think come November the Republicans would have a huge victory and take over by considerable numbers the House and the Senate. If that doesn't happen, I think we know that the safe and secure elections are anything but. Uh, if the Republicans don't win big by large numbers in both, I think we know what's really going on. But anyways, you had Nancy Pelosi this weekend. She was supposed to be in Taiwan right now. She had a visit to Taiwan scheduled earlier in the week. Some uh, official of the Chinese Communist Party come out and basically making threats, you know, basically telling good old Nancy Pelosi to, see what happens if you go to Taiwan. And mysteriously, the next day, Nancy come down with the case of the Rona. So she had to cancel her plans to visit Taiwan. That's kind of suspicious in my opinion. But I guess there's a wave of the subvariant allegedly sweeping through a bunch of Democrats right now. Well, there's also a big wave of it allegedly sweeping through China. Probably what happened is these fucking Democrats are in cahoots with the CCP, and some CCP meeting that they had with the Democrats infected these scumbag Democrat politicians, and now it's on a rampage for all the Democrats over there in the swamp. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Whatever. I mean, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Whoa, wait. That's white supremacy. Roger, yeah. White supremacy. You can't say 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's a fucking white supremacy math. Yeah. Then we got the situation with the worldwide food shortages. And some people say it's on its way, and some people say it's already here. It depends on where here is. But checking out a YouTube channel, Bear Independent. That's a good one. I recommend y'all go check that out. He talking the other day about he quoted his source. I forget who it was, but about 10 days ago, there was 3 countries in the world that were rationing food, and then as of yesterday, that number jumped in just a 10-day period from 3 to 26. So we got 26 out of the about 190 or so, give or take, countries around the world are rationing food right now. So that's 1 in 7. Then I heard Newt Gingrich's podcast. He talking about the food shortages too, and the UN organization that distributes food is distributing considerably less. They're talking about most of the places around the world with food shortage situations are war zones. I mean, there's always a handful of wars at least going on somewhere in the world. Most of the time we don't hear about it because, I guess it doesn't get ratings unless it, I guess a lot of the news is still Eurocentric. They're fucking racist. Well, people don't give a shit about shit that happened. If it doesn't affect them, then people aren't going to pay too much mind. but that's racist. Everything's racist. So war, famine, disease. These are the horsemen of the apocalypse, right? Things are like biblical right now. I myself, as a agnostic atheist, I don't buy into the end of times scenario. I could be wrong. Anything's possible. But even if uh, that stuff isn't the case, where it's the end of times, and you know, the as a boy, oh, don't say boy, that's racist. Our man Larry Elder likes to say, the defecation is gonna hit the oscillation. But excuse me, things seem to be crazy right now. Uh, one always has to wonder, like, is it always this level of craziness? But with the 24/7 news, right? I mean, we even used to say this years ago, decades ago, about the news, right? Oh, stuff isn't any more crazy than it was back in the day, but with cable news, it's just nonstop. Well, shit, now you got, uh, in addition to cable news with the social media and the internet, you could be listening to shit nonstop 24/7. And if your sources are always concentrating on bad things, you would think the world's going to end tomorrow. But, anyways, we'll see. Over here in Los Angeles, the jackass Mayor Garcetti, he needs to just drop out. He's numbnuts. Uh, who did he nominate Garcetti to be uh, ambassador to India? I don't think Garcetti knows a goddamn thing about India. He don't know jack shit about uh, international relations, geopolitical stuff. I mean, this guy's a shit ass mayor. So if he can't handle stuff on a local level, which granted, LA is a huge freaking city, uh, and if you're mayor of big city like New York, LA, Chicago, uh, then that's pretty good experience for certain types of things. But I don't know the correlation of what this guy's ever done or knowledge he has or experience to be ambassador to any country, let alone a country. I mean, I don't know how people view India as far as being important to the U.S., but I mean, I would think it's pretty possible because India is a huge country, huge population with the growing economy. At some point in the future, they could have one of the biggest economies in the world potentially. And when Trump was in office, U.S. and India had good relationship. They were all buddy buddy. I think Trump got quite a big welcome from the Indian community. I think Trump went there, and the president of India came over to the U.S. I forget where they uh, had a rally or something with U.S. president and Indian president, and it's somewhere in the U.S. where there's a large Indian community. But now with the whole situation in Ukraine and Russia, India seems to be getting kind of buddy buddy with Russia, or at least remaining neutral on some of these votes in the UN and stuff. So another failure on the part of the illegitimate administration we have in the U.S. Right? I mean, you talk about failure after failure after failure. And a lot of the people in the lamestream media talk about this, the so-called conservative outlets. Oh, Afghanistan was a complete failure. The withdrawal there was handled so poorly. Inflation's out of control. The economy, uh, all this fucking CRT shit running wild, and the fucking uh, LGBTQ XYZ elemental P plus agenda that they're, is rampant, and these assholes are trying to groom all the little kids in elementary schools, and this is just horrible. But I mean, I don't know when people are going to wake up to the fact that this puppet administration we have, and we saw who Potato Head Joe's fucking, who's pulling his strings to some extent, is that brother that visited him in the White House the other day. Basically, this is a Barack Hussein Obama administration 3.0, and then I think so many people in the administration are just rehash folks that were in Obama's administration. So, I think he's using those people as a means to implement his agenda with the potato. But is Barack Hussein the ultimate puppet master? I think he answers to somebody else. I don't know who, if you go up the food chain, who's at the top there, but my suspicions is you're going to end up at the doorstep of somebody with the last name of Soros, or probably somewhere in Beijing. Anyways, we do have some good news. Maybe not so good for you leftists out there. Not that I think any of the leftists are watching me, but that farce of a trial over there in Michigan ended up in 2 acquittals and 2 hung juries, right? So the alleged kidnapping of Greedy Gretchen Whitmer, the leftist extremist governor of Michigan. So that whole plot to do whatever it is they did, I mean, if you got a group of 15 or 20 people, and something like 2/3, more than half of them were either federal agents or federal informants. I mean, I don't know what the actual legal definition of entrapment is, but that's at least a problem, right? When you have most of the people in the so-called conspiracy to do something are working for the feds in one capacity or another, then I think the problem is pretty evident to anybody with a reasonable mind. So, good news. You got 2 not guilties and 2 hung. Kind of wonder if they're going to retry those 2 that got hung. My guess would be no, because that would just be further exposing them as the frauds they are, these federal prosecutors, right? These fucking jackasses at the DOJ. Another department weaponized by the leftists. I'm reading a book right now. It's called The Black Book of Communism. And it just talks about, I'm just getting into it right now, but man, it's talking about the revolution in 1917, 18, 19, 20, over there in the Soviet Union, and just the fucking scumbag Bolsheviks just go around killing anybody all the time, left and right. And, some of their tactics, I don't think that it ain't come to that yet, but the opponents of these people, right? You got them locked up for coming up on a year for some of these people that were trespassing J6. So I think, maybe not the complete brutality, but it's obvious that this administration and that side of the spectrum definitely employ the tactics used by these scumbags throughout history, incarcerating their political opponents and stuff. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. Just kind of have a Saturday morning session here and kind of discuss the different thing that's going on around the world and in the country. So hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you.